We all know what the best new switch skill in Sunbreak is, and if you need a hint...
My power is maximal!
Now I know what you're thinking, well that's just my opinion, you probably have a different favourite switch skill, and that's fair enough, except for... So, I rest my case. No! Every single new switch skill, for the most part in Sunbreak, has actually been fantastic. Like, genuinely, so much fun, so worth using, and such an energizing injection into the pulse of each weapon. Today, then, I wanted to go over 5 that I particularly am quite the big fan of. They might not necessarily be the most impactful or meta, or the ones that have been making waves currently, though a couple of them are, but they are certainly ones that I think are supremely satisfying to use, powerful, or both. Like, I really kind of wanted to be like Dual Blade Spiral Slash, I kind of wanted to put in the Switch Axe new counter, there really is a lot going on, and obviously I wanted to put Strong Arm in, but look, that's got a lot of attention. So without further ado, let's begin with... You might be thinking, Lance? Lance? I'd forgotten that weapon even existed! Why would you choose Lance? There's only like 3 of them even watching! And look, okay, Lance is really good in Sunbreak. Their new moves are really good. They let them be so oppressive, never stopping, never surrendering, constant aggression, attacking, blocking. It's really good. I don't claim to be a Lance player. I don't really like Lance. I don't, I admit it. But I do respect Lance, and I do respect anyone who mains it. But gog damn, if Skyward Thrust is not satisfying. Not only is the initial swing into the air awesome, and you get some serious height, the camera letting you get this spectacle down below as your victim makes ready to meet their end, but you get this little jet thruster
This one's all for you!
sound and a little effect as you go careening down towards Earth in this explosive piercing drop, and then you land on the point of the lance before falling down and regaining your footing. I mean, firstly, it's an animation masterclass. Secondly, it's not that weak, it's situational. It's not like it's something that you can completely just spam and jobs are good, and though a build surrounding that would be fun, but it is just badass. It feels good to use, it's fun to use. I think the recovery takes a little bit too long, but when it lands, it really lands. A big tall monster with squishy parts and an elemental lance, and suddenly you start seeing some wondrous things. So yeah, for me, I really do like Skyward Thrust. It's not quite enough to make me want to play the weapon, but it's the closest Lance has ever come to that in the history of Monster Hunter, and I think that is worth representing. Next up then, we actually go to another weapon that I don't really use that often, and that's kind of the beauty of Sunbreak here, and indeed Rise in general. With switch skills and Silkbind attacks, you're really encouraged to pick up weapons just because you like one specific thing that they do, and then you can go all in on that. So as you've been seeing then, this one is Mech Silkbind Shot. And this is just awesome. It feels like they've given Wyvern Heart to like Bowgun, but you can essentially permanently use it. And then you leave these gnarly looking crystallized wire bug pockets in the monster, and it makes them mountable really quickly, it breaks parts really quickly. It's not the most damaging thing in the world, though you can certainly get away with it, but you're always going to beat it, you know, doing a proper actual ammo Bowgun build by a long way. But still, the fact that you can viably just play Bowgun by just constantly using Mech Silkbind Shot and your way through the monster, I find that absolutely marvelously endearing, and I think it is so much fun. It's such a cool way to just be able to, you know, pop in a load of special silk ammo and then blitz them forward and then essentially never stop, because with 3 wire bugs you can just keep doing this over and over and over and over, and then you get a nice little spot to hit with follow-up attacks, and look, I am not a huge Bowgun fan, I'm really not, but Wyvern Snipe and Wyvern Heart have always been really loved by me, and giving Light Bowgun essentially mini permanent Wyvern Heart, I'm kind of all over that. So yeah, Mech Silkbind shot, definitely worth a look if you've not really considered it yet. Next up, we have Sword and Shield, a weapon I've always kind of liked, got a soft spot for. I feel like a lot of people do, and of course we're going to look at Shield Bash. This is just, I mean, it's so satisfying, right? It's not flashy, it's not crazy, it doesn't do ridiculous damage, it's just a really solid, satisfying movement ability coupled with impact and a beautiful animation that just makes it so much fun to use. Having that full-on leap forward charge, Captain America style, shield raise, donking into the monster, getting to time it to block attacks, trigger offensive guard, reposition, and just not give a fuck. That is just sweet, and I really like it. It's very apparent as I miss like 3 separate follow-up attacks. What the hell is with this Kula Yaku? It's not a weapon I play a lot of, but hell if Shield Bash is not instantly incredibly entertaining to use to even someone who is not into that sword and shield space. And I can't imagine, in fact I don't have to imagine, I have a lot of good friends that swear by sword and shield, and they have waxed lyrical over and over on how good Shield Bash is, and you know what, I get it, I really get it, and I hope you guys do too. Next up then, I was very torn. I initially wanted to go with Awakened Kinsect attack on the Insect Glaive, because, you know, swinging that insect and blasting it towards the monster, seeing it do a load of damage and then reeling yourself in, it is satisfying. It's got a great sound to it.
No more holding back!
And altogether is just fun. But then I thought to myself, what's better than throwing your insect with mighty power at the monster? Throwing yourself with mighty power at the monster.
No more holding back!
So, Gunlance Bullet Barrage, yes indeed. This one has not exactly been subtle, it's not kept itself a secret, it is single-handedly responsible for the massive rise in Gunlance popularity, and for the constant vague echoes of Tears of Joy a la Rurikan. But, I get it, I really do. It's like you use Bullet Barrage once, and you have this moment of, oh, that was fucking cool. That was wow. Like, the power. I don't even care that it takes 97 years to use another one, as you have to reload everything first, because that steam just adds to it. You're building up this head of power and then launching at the monster and really genuinely deploying the just throw everything we've got at it. I have seen this thing hit like a freight train in a proper build, and the idea of playing Gunlance to only use this move, build around it, max Wirebug Whisperer, keep that third Wirebug, and just only spam Bullet Barrage, that is up my alley. That is my cup of tea. That is my juice. I love using other weapons and focusing on one single thing that they do and making it as good as possible. Great Sword and Bow is the only weapon I care to know on a complete, comprehensive, deep up and down level. There's like a handful that I know really well, and then everything else I like just one specific thing that they do and going crazy with it. And Gunlance has firmly found itself in that category thanks to just how amazing Bullet Barrage feels. Even with how hard it is to land sometimes, even against slowish monsters, it's still so worth it when you actually get the opportunity to. Finally then, in first place, of course, I am going to favour my baby. It's Great Sword, but not Strong Arm, no Surge/combo. Definitely overshadowed by those massive Strong Arm counter true charge apocalyptic blows, but not worse by any means, at least when it comes to fun and satisfaction to use. Having that classic OG Monster Hunter 1 starting Great Sword combo that was your bread and butter back then, enhanced into this completely at will, interchangeable, incredible 3-hit, super well animated, slick combo. It just feels really good. And the thing is, it's really not bad. Like, in terms of its actual power and output, there are monsters where it is really good, especially as there are monsters where Strong Arm, even with its increased speed to charge, just can't land. Think something like Rajang. And also, annoyingly, though honestly also quite fun, it is quite good with Element, and I definitely want to bring you a Surge / build. In fact, I will be doing in the next week or so, so look out for that. But it really is just great. Like, every single one of the 9 moves here is really, really fun to use. Really well animated, it lands, and it is a pleasure to surge slash your way through an enemy. Even just the lunge run forward on the uppercut, the little step forward on the new draw. Not being able to use shoulder tackle as much does suck, but the extra speed on the follow-up combo is really nice for the charge. But generally speaking, it's just really a breath of fresh air to get a non-kind of slow-rooted greatsword playstyle that actually does work and isn't really gimmicky. I think the weapons needed that for a little bit, if only to give people options that they never really had before, and Surge Slash is an absolutely excellent way to do that without really doing anything negative to the identity of the weapon, and I really, really love it. Alright then guys, that is my selection that I wanted to kind of highlight and talk about. How many of you used? Which do you favor? Is there any you think I should have talked about? Let me know. For now then, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, and consider supporting the future of this channel on Patreon down below. Until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.